itself in the other. No other human bond provides more latitude and depth for this than the twin flame connection, since it is in the reflection of our truest self in the other that we find ourself, as well as the answers to our deepest existential questions. Unfortunately, it is also here that we come to know our most devastating pain, which does not come from seeing them love another, but from having to feel our way out of the proverbial darkness they often unexpectedly leave us in. It is the pain of not knowing what or why, brought on by their silences, denials, absences, avoidance and contradictions that kills us. It cuts so deep that to make it stop we often literally disconnect from a part of ourselves, just to be able to function. In the midst of it all, we wonder whether the love that we shared with them ever really existed, and if it did, was the reason we lost it because we never deserved it in the first place? The struggle to find our wholeness again, this time not through them but through a deep dive into our soul, is real. Yet the journey must be made because it is the only way for us to heal. With this in mind, I inadvertently happened upon the movie Hancock, featuring Will Smith, John Hancock, and Charlize Theron, Mary Embry. Having seen the trailer years ago, I thought the film would be an action flick about a drunken, arrogant superhero with no past who slowly becomes a better man through his efforts to find himself and his purpose. To be honest, I wasn't interested. However, just as I was about to change the channel, the following scene between the two main characters and Ray, Mary's husband, Jason Bateman, came on. In the scene, Mary tries to explain her connection with Hancock to her husband. "Mary, whatever we are, we were built in twos, okay? We are drawn to each other. No matter how far I run, he's always there, he finds me. It's physics." "Ray, what are you saying? Are you saying you two are fated to be together?" "Mary, I've lived a very long time, Ray, and one thing I've learned is, fate doesn't decide everything. People get to choose." Hancock, to Mary, in disbelief, "And you chose to let me think I was here alone?" "Mary, I didn't think you'd remember." Ray, "Great. So now what?" Mary, upset, "I didn't plan for this." Curious, I switched onto Channel Plus One and watched the film from the beginning. It turns out that what the Hancock movie trailer completely fails to touch upon is the mystical, divine connection between the two main characters, which is effectively the big plot twist of the movie. Hancock is in fact not a comedy about a drunken superhero, but a drama about fate, love, sacrifice, and twin flames. Hancock is the story of an immortal superhero who has lost his identity to alcohol and his memory to amnesia, having woken up 80 years prior in a Miami hospital unable to recall anything of his past or origin. His physical struggle is however only a reflection of his inner turmoil to physically find himself and his true identity, and to act on his purpose in life. I really like the fact that even though this is a twin flame movie, this wasn't the main focus of the film, but rather it was Hancock's journey to find himself. When Hancock rescues the well-meaning Ray from being killed by a train, Ray invites him to dinner at his house, and it is here that Hancock meets Ray's wife, Mary, and son, Aaron. Mary seems to have an instant dislike for Hancock and even warns her husband to not get involved with him. However, Ray, always seeing the best in everyone, has a plan to improve Hancock's public reputation and invites him on a journey of redemption. A journey which Hancock first rejects, only to return to it later. Hancock_3LG. The battle for the truth. From the beginning, there is a subconscious knowing for Hancock that there is something going on with Mary that he can't quite put his finger on, whether it is sexual chemistry or more. When Hancock and Mary are together, everything is stronger and actually a little off. Without really understanding the magnetism between them, Hancock finds himself pulled to Mary for answers to his deepest questions. Almost as if by understanding their connection he will learn to understand and know himself. What Hancock cannot remember, and what Mary is keeping from him, is that they are twin flames. Having settled into a normal life in the Matrix as Ray's wife and mother to Aaron, she wants nothing more than to get Hancock out of her family's life, Despite this, she cannot help but feel drawn to him. When Hancock discovers that Mary also has superhuman powers, and that he is not the only one of his kind, he demands answers. Initially, like any good twin flame runner, she avoids the subject, goes out of her way to tell Hancock what a good man Ray is and how happy she is with him, and then eventually turns hostile and extremely protective of her family, warning him to stay away. She wants to keep her normal life intact. Although she seems unnecessarily cold towards Hancock, it is only because she knows that this connection, should she give into it, would not come without the complete destruction of life as she knows it. A life that she